crystal clear audio, that, isn't it?
Yep.
Give it me down there.
ASMR.
Yeah.
Two.
You could tell that was two, actually. Doesn't work with it.
I'll open this, mate.
Does not open it.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 27 of Dad Knows Best. I have forgotten how to intro the show. I am Harrison Mudge, and I'm with my co-host, back once again,
For the Renegade Master.
Adam Callow, how are you?
Good, man. It's actually good to be back on the mics. I've thoroughly enjoyed, to be honest, I've enjoyed being a listener of the show for the last, 2-3 episodes. Hearing you and your better half talk about things, hearing your solo shows, and I said to you before we put these mics on, I was like, it sounds like life has beaten you up that last show. What was going on? What has been going on in your world? How old's Big L? 4 weeks, four
Big
and a half?
L
5 weeks. He's probably 5 weeks today.
5.5 weeks, getting on to 6 weeks now.
Oh wow.
6 big weeks.
Nice.
He's fine. I think so. What I'm going through is no different to what anyone else goes through, but at the time it's like, so it's like in the day it's fine, because like now it's fine, I'm feeling awake and lights are on and things like that, but it's when you get tired, it's like, cool, right, it's ready for bed, because
you're on a routine. You're on a serious routine with your sleep as well, aren't you?
Not at all.
No.
I'd love to be
before baby.
Even then, it was never down routine-wise, but I would like to get my sleep.
What's it look like for you now? Here's a question. Let me just cut straight to this, actually.
Miserable.
Have you swore at your child yet? Have you out of frustration, why the fuck are you doing this to me?
Yeah, I think the words "shut the fuck up" come out of my mouth more frequently than I'd probably like to admit. Okay. But it's... and like, for anyone listening or watching, it is... because so the weird thing is, when you're in hospital as well, they get you to watch... I don't know if they did this for you, but when we were there, they come round and you've got the baby now, and it's like, cool, we need you to watch this video. I'm like, okay. So yeah, just search... I don't know what it was on YouTube. It's like, don't shake your baby, basically. So it's a video about not shaking your baby. Yeah. And when we were watching it and all that, we were like, I don't really understand how anyone would shake their baby or could shake. Like, what would drive you to want to shake your baby?
I'm interested to see where this is going.
And after like the first, probably like literally the first sort of 2 nights at home, probably even the first night at home, when you're holding your son and you've fed him, he's clean, he's changed, you've tried everything, because there's only like 3 things he needs. When you've tried everything and he's still just wailing at you, and you're just holding him, looking at him in the eyes and thinking, why won't you just shut up? So and
the video come back into your head, and it's like, don't shake it. Is at that point
I wasn't telling myself don't shake the baby, but in my mind I was like, I could see why people would shake the baby, like, you know. And it's like, with an inanimate object, you would like throw it, or you would just, a piece of shit, throw it down, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. But with the baby, you're not going to throw it. But I understand that your reaction would be to just just shut up, sort of thing. So I totally get that. Obviously I haven't done that, but like that's the level it kind of drives you to, and that's kind of and I'm not saying I'm getting on the verge of shaking Elliot or anything like that, but I mean it's that like close to the edge feeling of like, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna I'm going to punch a wall, or I'm going to like break down in tears. I'm going to do something, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm on the edge of doing it. So that's, hold on, these arms are really high. Why would someone put the arms of chairs so high on here?
We had a very formal meeting in this room earlier.
I wondered what
I tried to make them feel uncomfortable, so they were sat
I felt like my shoulders were by my ears. Sorry, yeah. So it's been, some days are better than others, but like a few nights ago, probably like the night before I did the previous show.
Yeah.
Would it be the night before? Anyway, it was like, didn't get any sleep, but we've not been getting loads of sleep anyway. But for some reason, he just wouldn't shut up and be quiet. So he does like a weird thing when he's sleeping. He's grunting. So he wriggles around, he grunts and stuff like that, which isn't too bad. But it seems to be that he's doing that a lot, and it tends to escalate into a cry.
Okay.
And the cry is for like nothing, and it's like it doesn't seem to.
Does he calm? Do you know? So with Riley, and I think both of them actually. When you check the boxes and there's like clean, fed, all that stuff, is he going quiet after you pick him up now during the night, predominantly?
Yeah.
Like, is he getting comforted and then wanting to be with you? And when you put him back down, what's happening then?
He essentially wants to be
near you,
held or near you or things like that. So that's
okay.
So that's another battle as well. Is it's like, at what point do you bin him off into his own room? Let me rephrase that. At what point do you move him into his own room? So it's like, are you playing games with me right now? Because like you've got no needs or wants other than like, when I hold you, you're quiet. But it's like, you need to go to sleep because I need to go to sleep. So I think that's an indicator
of like, if you pick him up and he goes quiet, I think then you put him straight back down, and then ignore him.
But then sometimes he will cry as well. So it's this whole thing.
When you picked him up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then you're on the end of the bed, gently rocking him, not shaking him. You're trying to rock him to sleep.
It looked gentle. For those of people that are not watching the video right now on YouTube, it looked gentle. Okay, but it was not up here. It was down there.
Yeah, it was. The body was embracing. But yeah, so you're like, so then you are kind of holding him and you trying to rock him. It's like he's just not going to sleep. And again, it's that point where you would just be like,
and out of curiosity, like, are you both awake at this point, or do you take turns saying no? I don't. So what me and Sarah used to do is like, irrelevant to how long this takes on this occasion to get up, we used to be like, the next time he wakes up to cry, it's on you, and that might mean you go in, he's just dummies out of his mouth, and he's fine, or it might be 2 hours worth of crying, but it was like, it's your turn. You hold the baton until you've got him back to sleep.
So Emmi generally tries to do most of it just because I'm trying to sleep, but we're both awake at the time as well. And sometimes I'm just giving it the hand on her back, just like,
I'm aware what's going on right now, but I'm trying to sleep.
Because ultimately, like, there's nothing more I can do if he's hungry, and that's what we tend to always try as well. We try to feed him, but yeah, it's just. So, but Emmy's not having to go anywhere, so she can try and. The idea is she can try and like nap when he naps as well.
Yeah.
So that, in an ideal world, she's not really doing that either. So she's still struggling as well. Which this whole thing, again, it's the sleep deprivation that we all know and expect. But the reason it then gets hard as well is because you're tired, you're grouchy, and then you're trying to work together. Just because you're a couple anyway and you're a team, but you're just on like a razor's edge, like biting each other's nose off.
It gets tested, doesn't it? Like it's at the point in your like family life that you're probably the closest and most committed as a unit, as a family. However, the razor's edge thing is so true, and it's nothing about like you two. It's just like I've had no sleep, I have no patience. And because there's a limit to how much you can take it out on Elliot, you take it out on everyone else around you. Let me ask you a question. Weird one, me being your employer.
Here we go.
But how, honestly, we will not bring this up in a review. How do you think how do you think it's affected your ability to do your work to the best of your ability?
So I would say, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying in a previous episode, in the previous show. So if you haven't seen or listened to it yet, go back.
Oh, is that on YouTube as well?
Yeah, it's all on YouTube now. Every episode from I think it was the one with Emmi on.
Yeah,
all on video now. So
cool.
Guys, if you've not watched it yet, go over to YouTube.
Nice.
Subscribe. Nose bump the mic. So, like I said before, it's everything. It's like you're just tired as well. So like I haven't been going to the gym either. And just like energy levels are just really like, I'm not exhausted to the point where I can't move and get out of bed and stuff, but it's like, you know, when you're just kind of tired and just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
It's like the motivation is lower, energy levels are lower, just everything in general. I wouldn't say it's necessarily directly affecting work, like the quality of the work that I do, but I would probably say that on the days that I'm tired, you know, I'm just kind of sat in my inbox, kind of doing emails, thinking, I'm tired.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not so much that you can't do your job and things like that, but you're not kind of fully there.
Not efficient.
But there's not really anything you can do about that, because even with paternity leave, even if you did the full term of maternity leave, you're not necessarily going to go back fully rested, recovered, energized, and things like that. So there's not really any way of going about it.
I've been tired for 6 years, mate.
And you've got your third on the way.
I would say you'll. That's not true, by the way. If anyone that is like, dude, that picked up on him commenting on my third child, never going to happen. I would say you've got hair to lose, but you got there ahead of me. Cool. So it's an interesting topic for me with work in terms of.
For me, work isn't necessarily a struggle. It's not like I'm dragging myself into work and thinking like, I can't get to work, I'm exhausted. Like once I'm awake, because that's what I said about kind of recording the shows that we're doing, is afternoons are probably better, because just being able to stay in bed till sort of 6:37 as opposed to being up at like 5:30 to make sure I'm in the office. Yeah. Just those few extra hours of what is hopefully a good night's sleep is hugely beneficial at the moment. So, but once I'm awake, I'm pretty good at staying up.
Do you find
I could do late hours. I just need it's one of them hard things. It's hard to kind of
the same way that it's sort of like razor edge in terms of, and that's completely understandable with like because of like lack of sleep and having a crying baby all the time. Not that it's crying all the time, but it probably feels like it's all the time.
It's every time you want to do something.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Like Emmi, speaking on Emmi's behalf at the moment, like she's just trying to do stuff at home. So she's trying to, for example, do some of the washing. Yeah. But like as soon as she puts him down, he revs up and he starts crying. So she can't get anything done because he always wants to be held. Yeah. So like she's like I almost get to come to work and just kind of get away from it and do other things, whereas she's just trying to do some simple stuff around the house, but she can't because he's always making a noise. And that's kind of how he is at the moment. It's like he's perfectly quiet and fine until you want to try and do something, and then he causes chaos.
But on the sort of like the razor edge, and that obviously impacts how you guys communicate with each other sometimes. Do you think that's also carried on in work in terms of like, do you feel like you've had to hold yourself back and you've wanted to be snappier with the team on requests and stuff like that? Or do you think you sort of like managed to like push that down and control it? As in, do you detach away from that feeling when you leave the door, or naturally because you're tired? I would say
I would say that it doesn't affect anything even between me and Emmi until he starts revving up a slight bit. As soon as, like, if he's calm and relaxed, then the atmosphere in the house is relaxed. Yeah. But as soon as he's starting to want something, whether he's hungry or he's changing or anything like that, like
tension just rises in the whole house.
And it doesn't go from 1 to 4 to 5 to it goes from 1 to 100. Yeah. Instantly, as soon as he makes a slight noise and we're trying to talk and he starts making a noise, all of a sudden, subconsciously, you're on edge, and it's like, okay. I'm just trying to do this because he's starting up. You're like revving up.
Is it because you feel like you're on like a timeline? Then it's like we've got to get this done because he's about
to blow up.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you tackle that?
It's really weird.
But I assume
Give him to someone else for a week.
the amount of times I was trying to give my kids away to people to let them know what it's like.
Well, because we were
Like,
out
as a couple. How do you deal with that? And
well, we
let's put a pin in that.
kind of breeze past it, I guess. Like it's very, and she'll tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's kind of what's the best way to explain it? It's kind of siloed to that moment in time.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm not thinking, oh, we've just like kicked off and had an argument or anything like that, and it's not looming over my head anyway.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, it's gone. It's just at that moment it was like tensions peaked, whereas so it's not like we're falling out, even though we've literally just like virtually shouted at each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of the moment goes and it's like, cool, so what are you? And it's just carrying on as normal. So
on like a personal note, Emma listens to the show, doesn't she?
Emmy does, yes.
It'll be
well, I hope she still does. I hope she watches it as well, and I do hope she's subscribed.
it'll be super cool, and maybe you can share in the future after Emma's listened how you describe how you just felt after that argument. So I wouldn't, like, argument's probably the wrong term. After that moment, it'd be really interesting to hear if Emmy feels the same.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know.
So there's a conversation for you guys. But talking about you guys is getting good at these segues, aren't I? You guys had you were away last Friday. We had a company Christmas, one of our company Christmas parties. But you had to see the Chemical Brothers.
Yep.
What was that like, being away from the kid for the first time? I'm correct. It was the first time.
It was the first time we were out, technically away somewhere without the boy.
And a reasonable distance away as well.
Yeah,
it's not like you're just at your mum's house.
I think, and we were around a friend's on Sunday as well. And we were talking about this, and they said, "How was it?" And I think, to be fair, because we left him with my mum, who's a mother of 3. It's like you're leaving the novice,
someone better trained than you.
Yeah, exactly that. You, the novice, is leaving your child with what is a seasoned vet. Yeah. So like there was no thought in the back of our mind, is this the right thing to do? Like, it was like, cool, here's the kid. You've got this better than we have. Just here's the things that we need to feed him and change him and stuff.
If your mum was away, but your dad was looking after him for the night, just your dad, how would you feel?
Great question. And my dad listens to the show as well. Again, he'd be more than capable.
Okay.
I'd probably...
Because being honest, so Sarah's dad... at that point, I would not have... Sarah would agree with me. We wouldn't have left him with Sai. So Sarah's stepdad wouldn't have left him with Kev.
Would you leave the boy or the boys with just your mum or Sarah's mum?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's because...
But is that like a stereotypical maternal mothery, like mum knows how to look after the child and
mum knows best? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, whoa. Let's not give away our sister show.
It might be that. I think what it is I know, as a man, I know my temper and how I'd be feeling with things. There is zero chance that I could deal with someone else's kid until a certain age.
Yeah.
And I don't think like my dad or Sarah's, or I don't think those people are any different. I just don't think they are.
Fair point. Yeah. No, so yeah, maybe. Well, they were both in.
Cool.
So that was fine. But yeah, so it was nice to. It was kind of.
By the way,
you forget how long? Sorry, you forget how long.
You apologise for me interrupting you then.
Yeah, no, I came over the top again. You forget how long it takes to just leave the house when you've got a child. Like, genuinely, there's probably like 45 minutes of just child checks that you've got to do just to get out of that goddamn front door. It's madness. And obviously, like that, you don't kind of notice it because all of a sudden that's your life.
Yeah.
But then, so we dropped the kid off, and then we were at the hotel in Birmingham, and we just got changed, got ready, and went out.
At what point? Because I've had this with Sarah, especially in the idea. Did you get into the hotel room like planning to go out and go? Should we just fucking stay in the hotel?
Oh, I was even thinking it when I was going to the hotel. I hadn't even checked in yet. I was like, can we just bin off this this event that we've planned for like a year in advance
and just sleep.
But like that, to fast forward after the concert, we went back to the hotel originally because we were out of there by just after 11 because we left just before the end. They were doing their encore, but we went home because Emmy's feet were hurt because she was wearing heels, which she'd not worn in a long time apparently.
Cool.
So I was like, cool, let's go back, put some comfy trainers on, and we'll see where everyone is at the Christmas party and we'll come to you. So we actually got back to the hotel with the plan of like going back out. We got back, sat on the bed, and it was like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. I was like, yeah, me too, cool. Tell you what, because we're in like the jewelry quarter, there was nothing in the immediate vicinity of us, everything had shut. So we got Deliveroo, and then by the time that came, it was like sort of midnight, and it was like, I just had a personal pizza, feeling pretty comfy in this bed.
If you'd come out when you're on the way back, we would have had like a good 2.5 hours together. So that would have been good.
That's what I'm saying.
How are you guys feeling about? Did you manage to detach and be like, okay, let's spend some time together? Kid is absolutely fine. Park that. Were you able to be like present with each other, or was there like checking the phone, like being concerned?
Well, because we were at a concert, we were just
present at the concert.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Emmy might think he might have been on her mind more than he was on mine, but I felt like we were just kind of enjoying the evening.
Cool.
So, and I think we did miss the boy, but at the same time, after I just finished my 9-inch Big John's personal pizza, I was thinking I can't wait to just get in bed and have a solid night's sleep. And then we just slept straight through. Felt fresh as a daisy when we woke up the next day. Walking around Birmingham Jewelry Quarter with a nice crisp snap in the air.
Like probably holding hands because you haven't been
we were like a newly married couple, mate. It was amazing. And then
I know that feeling.
And then we went back to mum and dad's. How did
your mum and dad cope? How did they find
They
it
were... So the grunting and stuff that he does, and because he's quite sicky as well.
Fix that, right?
No. So she got a bit paranoid about it, to be fair, because he's sick quite a lot as well. She kept saying that she was worried every now and then because it sounded like he was choking.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh no, he tends to just kind of roll it over and or whatever. But so she experienced firsthand what it was like to try and sleep with him doing all that noise. But you could see the way she said it was a little like, he does do a lot of grunting and stuff, doesn't he? I'm like,
trying to play it down, really but make you aware. Okay.
But they really enjoyed it. Obviously, my brother and his fiance are currently living there as well at the moment, so they've all really enjoyed. It used to be Frank the dog with them for a night or two.
Frank's in a kennel at this point.
He was at a kennel, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so they all kind of enjoyed having Elliot round for a brief period of time.
That's cool.
Which was nice. But then, like, the next night, he was an absolute nightmare, and it was rough.
Okay, yeah, because when you came in on Monday, you probably had, was it 2 nights?
It was like 2 nights of just like...
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Because I remember being in the office on Monday, like...
Your body was.
I'm tired. Yeah. I mean, like, if you look at the register of whether I was in the building or not.
Yeah, you're getting paid for that day, don't worry. Super. By the way, I need to give your mum a bell, actually. Do you know she got did you see the Lego calendars?
No, she told me about them, though.
Absolutely love them. So both the boys got a Lego calendar. And it's just cool. Like, they're opening up every day and doing that, so I need to thank your mum for that. I think we probably... I was going to go into probably for the next show for next week. I guess
if you're on,
just talk about. Well, you're back now. Like,
I didn't go anywhere.
I think it's like I'd like to just share sort of what it's like in my house when it comes to like Christmas time. It'd be interesting to talk to you about like Christmas with you and the family and any decisions you guys have made.
We'll wrap today's show up with Christmas. So because I think we did definitely mention it on a previous show, is what we're doing about Christmas with the boy.
Yep.
Now, in my mind, I was like, just Santa's not a thing. Like, obviously,
I think we should put a pin in it, because I'm going to go long on this.
No, let me leave this one here, and then you can follow up next week.
All right, I'm going to bite my tongue.
Then you are committed. I'm
going to bite my tongue here.
But I did have the conversation with Emmi about this, because admittedly,
State the conversation you had. And let's just draw a line under it.
I incorrectly assumed.
Okay.
Because I didn't confer with the wife, so I got this wrong. But I thought, well, we're not gonna do that, because obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm from a Jehovah's Witness background, so we didn't.
No one knows who listens to the show.
But so I was raised not really celebrating birthdays and Christmas and things like that. But
and you're really 47.
But what yes, everything's a lie. But what I completely forgot to kind of add to that every time I told anyone was that the justification that I got told was that I got gifts all year round. And I got a load of stuff all year round, as probably most kids do anyway. Mm-hmm. But I always used to get toys and things. So I was like, oh, that's a very good point. I totally agree with that statement. Don't care about Santa. Mummy, daddy, I want this toy. Cool. So I was like, cool. We're just going to be like, son, I am the provider. Me and your mother provide for you. We give you food. We give you shelter. We give you warmth. We also give you the toys. Not this guy in a red suit that doesn't actually exist.
I hope there are no kids that listen to this show.
This is definitely not for kids, this show. So I was like, I don't know how we'd go about that, but at some point we're just like, oh no, Santa's not real straight away. Like, I'm Santa. I may not have the beard.
If we ever needed an audio bite to promote a show.
But Emmi was like, oh no, we'll do the whole Santa thing and all that, because he's magical, isn't it? I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing Santa. So, but obviously my other point was, but we're not going to do Santa yet, because he can't hold his own head up, so he's not getting a gift. The gift he gets is like nappies or something, because I 100% know practical.
You are doing Santa this year.
What am
We're not doing this now.
What am I going to get? A 6-week-old baby boy.
The first week in January, guys, you will hear a list of the stuff that he has bought. He'll
need new clothes. I'll get clothes, but that's a practical thing. He hasn't asked for it. He needs them because he's growing. Which, by the way, is an outrageous rate, because this pile of clothes that no longer fit him anymore is just going up and up and up.
And you're looking at it going, that was £6. That was £9. It's got 7 wears.
Yeah.
It's £1.20 a wear.
By the way, did you know Mark, and I'll show you the picture of this, Mark bought a little gift for baby Elliot as well.
Oh, is this what was in the bag yesterday?
And come on, FaceTime. I'm not one for branding. But Mark did an absolute stellar job and got him a Nike Just Do It onesie with matching socks.
So that is an epic gift, and he looks awesome.
But that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well played, Mark. We're going to talk about Christmas in my house on the next show.
We
might revert back
to forward to
this conversation.
The chaos that ensues. I bet it's like, was Home Alone chaos? There's a lot of kids. I never understood the family in Home Alone.
We're not going down that rabbit hole right now.
Were they adopted or?
No, they're just a big family.
Were they really?
I hope that's right. They're just a big family. I got lost on a TikTok the other day, as you know, in a hole. And one of them was them doing a skit on the Home Alone. They find a bag in school and they pass it down. And
I've seen that with you.
You were in the car on autopilot.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this show up.
Just to finish on this, guys, is I had last night, I obviously had a bit more sleep than normal. I had the most vivid dream. I can't remember how I got it, but either you got it for me or it was through the company or what. But I ended up getting a Tesla, and I went. But here's the most mundane part of it, though: is I got the Tesla, figured out whether the car seat, the baby car seat, fit or not. And then the rest of the dream was just about installing the charge point at home.
But just so you know, if it ever happened, it would not be me getting at you. It would 100% be through the company. You made it sound like
that's what it is.
A gift just appeared.
I couldn't remember whether I'd somehow inherited your Tesla because you were getting a new one or
that might happen.
Like that.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because if anyone doesn't know, Adam has a Tesla.
I need a t-shirt. I need a cap. So I have a Tesla that I fucking drove into a car on Friday because I've become that much of a lazy driver that I expect it to beep at me when there's traffic, and it wasn't on autopilot, and I just pulled directly into the car to the left of me. That's another story. Wrap us up,
And
H.
on that note, guys, thank you so much for kind of getting this far. I know we lost it towards the end, but thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to... Here come the calls to action. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes if you just want to listen to us. If you like ASMR, we'll be releasing a new playlist.
It's called Roasted Chicken and Thyme Sensation.
Yeah. Brand TBC.
Did you see that? I missed the brand off that as well.
Yeah, I did. And notice how these bottles of beer are conveniently facing away from the camera.
You got to pay for this shit, Mr. Moretti.
This is not.
Anyway.
This is. Didn't know his first name was Luigi, by the way. So if you are
What's the beer for?
What?
Does that mean like...
I think that's beer in Italian, mate.
Cool. Everything sounds better in another language. If when Mark's angry at me, I'm like, you've got a cool accent. Sorry, mate. I've interrupted your calls to action.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. We will speak to you guys next time.